Doug Wiley with Police Magazine. I'm here with a very good friend of mine, great friend of law enforcement, Brian Willis. You're the Deputy Executive Director for ILEETA.
Yes.
We are here at ILEETA 2019 in St. Louis, Missouri.
We are.
It's a beautiful thing to see all of these wonderful minds, the best and the brightest of this business, come together and share ideas.
Right.
And, you know, it's really fascinating because outside of this event, a lot of police trainers kind of sometimes aren't very nice to one another. Let's put it that way. But when we all gather here at ILEETA at this conference, everybody checks their ego at the door. And everyone's an instructor, but everyone's a student.
Right.
As the Deputy Executive Director, you know, you've been involved with the organization from the beginning, really. Tell me, you know, and tell the people who are watching this video on Police Magazine, some of the benefits of being a member, of being here. You know, what are the things that you get out of it?
Well, a little bit of an understanding about why ILEETA is the way it is. And it was when Ed Nowicki, the founder of ILEETA, started ILEETA, and Harvey Hedden, who's now the executive director, was the deputy executive director. They founded it on the principles that this is an organization of peers. Some have more name recognition, some have written some books, but everybody are trainers. Everyone who's part of this organization is law enforcement trainers, and it's an organization of peers, and no one's any better than anyone else. And so it's all about coming here for the learning and the growth and the sharing. So the advantages to being an ILEETA member is there are a number of benefits, some discounts and some other elements. The key is that you get growth opportunities throughout the year. So what we started last year is we started the ILEETA Learning Lab, where I take the instructors, people that have instructed at the conference, and I do interviews with, so in 2019, between the 2019 conference and the 2020 conference, we'll post 50 or 52 hour-long interviews with people who taught at this conference. So that people who are unable to attend the conference, people who did attend the conference, but you can only go to so many classes. You have 20 or 30 choices in every time block. So you can only get so much. But now there's learning opportunities, growth opportunities throughout the year. All of the trainers here, all the people that come and teach here, volunteer their time. Nobody gets paid. We don't cover their expenses. They all volunteer here. And the greatest learning here is because of that atmosphere that we're all peers. Leave your ego at home and come here to learn from each other and to share. The first year of the ILEETA Learning Lab, the last question I asked the people that I interviewed is, what would you say to people that are members of ILEETA or trainers that are maybe not members as to why it would be a good investment in their growth and their development to come to the conference? Consistently, what everybody said is the atmosphere here is unlike any other conference they've ever been to. And the connections, the discussions in the hallways. And here it's about more than network. And we hear that term networking thrown around a lot. And unfortunately, what people think of when they think of networking is, well, Doug, here's my card. Nice to meet you. And boom, I'm going to move on. And if I can collect 100 cards, then I've networked.
Right.
That's not what this is about. It's about what can you make for connections. There are those of us, many of us at this conference that have developed lifelong friendships. But the advantage to being a member is that you can go on the Facebook page for ILEETA members and say, look, I've been tasked with putting together this training program. I don't have any content. Who's got lesson plans, ideas? And people will reach out and share information. You can approach anybody here that's teaching here or is simply attending and say, look, I need help with this, and people will share what they have. So rather than coming here with an attitude of this is my stuff and I'm not going to share it, people come here with an attitude of I want to share as much as I can to be of service to you. There's a lot of people here that have their own training companies, but we don't see each other as competition. The atmosphere with those that have their own training companies is if we can all raise our game. There's business for all of us. Some of us teach in similar topics, but we teach in different ways. But if we can all raise our game, it's going to best serve the profession, best serve the heroic men and women of law enforcement so that they can go out every day and do their job to a higher and higher level. That's what this organization is about. It's about learning from our past. It's about honoring our past. It's about investing in the future by sharing and learning and growing, by setting our egos aside and asking ourselves, what do I not know? What do I need to learn? Where do I need to grow so that I can better serve the people that I have the honor and the privilege of training? And that's the power of this organization. And so I would encourage any trainer. I think that this being part of this organization is critical to your professional development, your professional growth. And I think as a trainer, the conference needs to be on your bucket list. Come one time, and you'll keep coming back.
Yeah, I'm frequently asked, what's ILEETA like? I've got trainers out in California where I live, and I've gone to their academies, and I've trained with them, I've trained under them, I've watched and witnessed, the training that they, and I say, you got to join, and you got to go. And they say, well, what's ILEETA like? I mean, what's it like for that week? And I say, first and foremost, other than my family vacation, it's my favorite week of the year. Right. I come here, I recharge my batteries. I come here, I get new ideas. I come here, I make new friends. I come here and I catch up with old friends, yourself included. It's an indescribable event that you have to go in order to see it, in order to understand the power of this week. And you say go once. It's like eating one chip. Yes. You're not eating just one. You're going to come back because it is that powerful. And you do realize, hey, and fortunately for me, I'm given the opportunity to do things like this and talk with the experts, right. and be really well connected and integrated into the organization. And I sometimes see you see the new faces, and it's important and it's incumbent upon all of us. And I see it all the time at the bar or in the restaurant or in the hallways. You see people I know have come here for 10 years. This is my 10th, or maybe it's my 11th ILEETA. And I see the old timers walk up to the new guys and say, hey, what's going on? What are you here for? What are you interested in?
Right.
What are you going to go see? What did you see today? What did you learn? What can you tell me? Right. It's that incredible welcoming feeling of, you belong here and we want you here.
Right.
It's just a really interesting event. And I go to a lot of different conferences, ICP, Major Cities Chiefs, etc. There are a lot of people sitting on a dais saying, I'm a really important person. Here, someone's sitting on the dais saying, you are all really important people, right?
And that's the key. And I'll share a story to highlight that. There was a gentleman I talked to this morning, and he was here for the first time. And he brought a couple of his colleagues. Now, he's a member of ILEETA because there was somebody who's a longtime member had been telling him about this, and the guy was on the fence about joining. And what Chris said is, join, and I'll give you the money to cover your membership. So you join, and I'll give you the money, reimburse you for your membership. And he said, Doug's been telling me for 8 years I need to come. And this was day one, right after opening ceremonies. He said, I'm sold. And I'm kicking myself that I missed 8 years of coming here. And that's the experience that we hear from almost everybody who comes here. And it's because the atmosphere is different from everywhere else you go. Nobody sees themselves as any more important than anybody else. Everybody's here to share. Everybody's here to learn from everyone else. The attitude of people that are at the front of the room teaching is there's way more knowledge and experience out there than there is up here. And so let's pull that out. Let's work together so we can all grow and develop. And that's a powerful environment and a powerful culture for people to embrace. And as trainers, we need to engage in that type of philosophy and environment, immerse ourselves where everybody wants to learn and grow, so that we can make the profession better, so we can better serve the people that we have the privilege of training.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see you and all of my wonderful law enforcement friends. We're at the beginning of what's going to be an amazing week. I appreciate everything that you do for law enforcement in the training that you provide with your company, but also everything that you do as kind of the glue or part of the machinery that makes this amazing event happen. So I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's a privilege and an honor.
Doug Wiley, Police Magazine.